You know, this video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little more serious about the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? You know, it depends on who you ask. If you ask somebody who's very spiritual or religious, meaning of life is to serve God so that you have an everlasting paradise. Okay, fair enough. You know, then you ask somebody else who doesn't give a fuck, and they're just like, be rich and famous. You know, the acquisition of wealth. Now, by no means am I anti-materialist because money is nice. Money buys you cool shit. You know, nicer car, nicer house, nice clothes. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But you know where I'm going with that. So for some people, the meaning of life is the more zeros in your bank account, the better. Um, Now, then I reflect and I look back at all these celebrities that have everything. They have fortune, millions of dollars, more money than they can spend in their lifetime. They have fame. They have like pussy on tap. You know, and they're worshipped by everybody. They can do anything they fucking want practically. And a lot of these people kill themselves. You look at Kurt Cobain, Chris Cornell, Soundgarden, Jim Morrison. I mean, these are all people that had everything. And yet, I think with the materialist aspect, I think they thought that was their way to happiness, is to have everything. All the money, all the girls, the fame, you know, all of that. And yet they still fucking kill themselves. So apparently what happens with the materialists is they get to that point where they thought this is what's going to make me happy. I'm going to be a fucking famous rock star or an actor or whatever. Look at Robin Williams. I'm going to have millions of dollars. I'm going to have all these girls fucking throwing themselves at me. And then when they get it, then they realize that this actually doesn't make me happy. I'm sure it makes their life more comfortable, not worrying about money. And that's why I'm saying I'm not an anti-materialist. But that's apparently not the path. Now, the spiritualists who say, like, just believe in this book or this God or that God, I mean, how many several hundreds of God in written civilization have people believed in? And how many of those several hundreds of gods, if not even thousands, became cast down into devildom and, re-erected, and Bibles have been written. And see, if the Bible was written by a God, right? That'd be a different story. But the Bible, all the Bibles that I've come across, the Quran, Holy Bible, well, the Mormon Bible, that's a little weird. Guy fucking read like golden shit in his fucking hat. Whatever. Pick your fucking fairy tale. It doesn't matter because it's all fairy tales. These are all constructs, religious constructs that are designed to control and dictate the culture and the population at the time, which is why they keep getting revised and rewritten because culture changes. And it's still doing it. I mean, right now in Western society, Christianity is a dominant religion. But you go to the other side of the world, there's Muslims, there's Buddhists, there's Hindus, Taoists, there's a lot of shit. And who's right? You know what? I think everybody's fucking wrong. These books are written by men. Now, if you want to be spiritual, there's nothing wrong with being spiritual. There's nothing wrong with having a faith in something outside of yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I'm really not against spiritualism. But when it becomes a method of control, when it becomes a way of wielding power against the population and to obey, that's where it becomes an issue. And the spiritualists think, oh, if I just, follow these principles and, these golden rules and these 10 commandments and, pray to Allah, point to the whatever, east or north or whatever it is, 72 virgins in heaven. I don't fucking know, whatever. right? Jesus saves. Who the fuck cares? Nobody cares. Really, the new generation doesn't really fucking care because we've been so brainwashed with this bullshit that only in the last few generations have people actually been waking up to think, here's the philosophy. Here is the new spiritualism. Now, you can wear a golden cross around your neck and say you're Catholic. You can go to church on Easter and Christmas and whatever. I don't even know. It's been 30 years since I've stepped into a church. Hey, if that makes you feel better, and faith is a powerful thing. So if faith actually makes you feel better about yourself and gives you direction in life, then I guess it is a good thing for you. But some of us with critical thinking skills think a little bit differently. We think if you have faith in a false god, and I'm willing to say they're all false gods. If there is a God, we don't have the mental capacity to understand it. So you're believing in a book that was rewritten hundreds, if not thousands of times and represented and packaged to accommodate the social structure and culture at the time. The only thing we really can actually put faith in is ourselves. You can put faith, I can put faith in this. Look, poke myself in the head. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm real. Okay, I can do that, not even gonna go there to put myself in other places, but that's real. I'm real for now, right? I know that I'm not gonna live forever, but I'm not gonna develop my lifestyle in order to accommodate wishful thinking. And that's exactly what religion is. It's wishful thinking. It's faith. It's not rooted in logic. It's not rooted in it's not rooted in anything. It's fucking a mystical faith experience thing. Have faith in yourself. You are your own God. The only thing you know for certain, and anybody who tells me otherwise is a fucking fool. The only thing you know for certain is that you are living at this moment. How you got here, where we're going, whose God is right, is there a devil, what's our purpose in life? There is no purpose in life. The purpose of life is to simply live, and I would love to believe that there's an everlasting paradise. I would love to believe in reincarnation. It just doesn't. None of it makes sense. None of it adds up. It all contradicts each other, and how many hundreds of millions of people, if not billions, have died in the name of this God or that God or whatever. Just focus on what you know. What you know is that you're alive. What you know is that you're living for the present right now. Get the most of it. Enjoy yourself. Try to be a decent person. And when I mean decent person, that's kind of interpretable too, because now we're getting on the, definition of morality and ethics, and try to be a good person, what you would consider good. Humans have a natural law, in my opinion, of what's right and wrong. Like, I don't like to get punched in the face, although I have. So I assume that you don't like get punched in the face. Okay, but now here gets tricky. If you deserve to get punched in the face, well, try to live a good life. Love your loved ones. Love your family if they deserve it. If they deserve it, then it's all good, right? You just try to be a decent person and think of this life as your last life. This is your one and only life. Don't count on an afterlife. Don't count on a God. Money is not going to buy you happiness. Well, I don't know. I'm a poor guy, so I don't really know. But seriously, just focus on your life here. This is your one life on this spinning dust ball that twirls at 25,000 miles an hour or whatever. And yeah. I mean, this is it. This is all we got. This is all we got. We got you. Got me. We got all these other fucking poop flinging chimps walking around. Okay, so let's just try to make the best of what we know we have, what we can prove, what is tangible. And that is kind of a materialist concept because it is material. This is what we got. Um, Spiritualism, and man, you know, you want to believe in Buddha, Christ, devil, Satan, Lucifer, whatever, you know, Allah. You want to believe in that shit, that's fine. But really, you're going to waste the one thing that you know, you're going to waste your life on that. You're going to waste your life on oh, on intangible paradises and ethics that don't even apply to the modern day age. Yeah, I mean that's up to you, but I would suggest that people focus on themselves and focus on making themselves happy. You know, and I don't think money is the way to go. I don't think your lust for fame is the way to go. I don't think spirituality is the way to go. I think focusing on finding a loved one, um, uh, getting to know yourself, loving your family if they deserve it. I know some families are shit. But yeah, I think that's really the way to go. Just make the best of your life. Pretend, whether, you know, I'm right or wrong, pretend that this is your only life. And if there is a God, which I'm not saying I'm positively sure that there isn't, but if there is a God, it's not something we can comprehend. It's something far beyond our comprehension. So if there is a God, um, and you try to do the best with what you were given, I don't see why that God would turn you down, assuming that there is some sort of afterlife. My personal belief is that we get put in a universal blender and get torn to pieces, our essence, our soul, if you want to call it, and it gets redistributed back into the life. It's kind of a weird Buddhist reincarnation thing, but I don't believe it's conscious though. I think that we just get like mixed up and like fucking our energy just goes out and gets absorbed into more shit. Who knows? I don't pretend, and I'm never gonna claim to pretend. The day that I claim to pretend that I know these mysteries of life is the day that someone needs to come and fucking hit me in the head with a baseball bat and call me a fucking idiot, because that's what I would be.